Hey, welcome. It's Andrew Priestley. Welcome to another exciting episode of Multiply Your Money. This is episode number 22, and I'm reading from a book called The Money Chimp. I wrote this book in 2016, and this was originally written for young professionals to help them manage their money better. And I looked at lots and lots of research, particularly about young professionals. I looked at websites like My Bank, and I looked at the Ombudsman websites, and I looked at a lot of banking websites. And the three big tips that came out was learn how to spend less, save more, and get out of debt as quickly as you possibly can. Those were the three bits. So that's the essence of the book. This book, I promise, will teach you how to manage your money, but particularly what you'll be doing is spending less, saving more, and you'll be reducing your credit card debt in specifically. Okay. Now, the three big money management tips of all time is spend less than you earn. I've already covered that one. Plan for the future, and the third one is make your money make more money. Okay, so that's the idea behind it. So yes, on the last video, if you have a look at it, I was quite facetious. I said the best money making strategy of all time is buy a lottery ticket. Right? Play the poker machines. Learn how to play blackjack. Gamble. See, that's what a lot of people. There's Titania. Hey, Tatiana. Tatiana. Hey, welcome. You see, that's what happens. See, people think, how can I do this quickly? How can I do this easily? Hey, how are you? I love the thumbs up. Yeah, toss me some hearts. That's what I want. I want to see some hearts. But see, what a lot of people do is they think, how can I fix this quickly? How can I do this quickly? What's the shortest route possible? And you know what? It's really tempting to think this is actually, there's a heart. The lottery ticket thing is going to solve everything. This one's 83 million. I know this is the winning ticket. I'm too frightened to check whether I won or not, though. They get into all sorts of stuff like that. But here's the reality, right? So I'm reading from The Money Chimp. I'm looking at number 3, how to make money, make more money. And it's true that more money makes money. More money makes more money, right? It's true, okay? But here's the caveat, under certain conditions, okay? More money makes more money under certain conditions. For example, gambling and relying on lottery ticket winners may not yield you any result whatsoever. There was a really sad story I read recently where a guy had taken all of his savings. There was the massive super draw on the lottery in the US, which was 137 million, I think, and he withdrew $30,000 and bought a whole bunch of lottery tickets. Okay, because he was sure he was going to beat the odds. If he said one of these has got to get me the lottery win, not one ticket paid off. Not one ticket, okay? It's a game of chance, right? Now, the great thing is I'm going to give you 4 strategies that mitigate your chances and reduce the chance factor in there, right? There's, in fact, the likely and the probability of having more money make more money increases, okay? So basically, I don't want you to end up worse off than you were. I want you to actually end up better off. So the four methods that I know that work reliably where money makes more money is cash, shares, property, and business. Okay, so cash, shares, property, and business. So cash is money that you've got held in bank. Well, I tell in the book about several years ago I had $10,000 in an Australian bank account that earned me a whopping $3.06 interest. So I remember when banks used to pay quite a reasonable investment even on a term deposit. They were quite healthy. But, I had $10,000 parked in an account for 12 months and it earned $3.06. That's not even a cup of coffee in Australia anymore, right? It was so pathetic. It doesn't even buy a coffee. So I don't know. So you've got to pick something that's got a better rate of return than a 0.001% return there, okay? So Tatiana, cash, shares, properties, and business. Okay. Now you might do all of those, you might do one of those, right? But I'll just take you through what I did. So one of them is to do things like, cash deposits. Now, one of the things they're talking about in the UK, and I know they're talking about this in the US, but in the UK particularly, they're talking about cash ISAs. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and read the disclaimer here, but you can put money into a tax-free environment like an ISA, where it does have a good rate of return, but you're locking that money up, right? You're locking. So if you want access to the money, that's probably not a good strategy, but it will give you a return on your money. But you need to talk to an IFA or your accountant about it first, right? By contrast, I raised £18,000 for a deposit on an apartment, which I then sold for it was almost like 130% increase when we sold it. So the value of the property had gone up, right? And after I'd paid off the mortgage and the equity that the bank had in it, I ended up with £54,000 worth of equity, which I then put into another property. So again, I'm not advising you to go into property. I'm just saying this is what worked in my case. Okay, I'm not telling you to do that. I don't know your financial circumstances. Okay. I personally feel safe with bricks and mortar. Right now in the UK, we're going through very interesting times. It's a buyer's market because of Brexit. People are a little uncertain about the property market. But again, I'm not a property expert, so I'm not even going to give an opinion about what's happening in property. You need to consult an estate agent, for example, about what's happening here. Again, with your IFA, right? There had been a bull run on property for the last 20 years, and experts said this can't continue. But property's still doing pretty well in the UK, right? In fact, it's doing pretty well in Australia. It's doing really well in the US as well. So property's something to consider. It's something on the list to actually think about. But again, you've got to do a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and according to my good friend Edward Lowe, you want to connect with Edward Lowe, who talks about planning, the 3 Ps: planning, preparation, and understanding the process so that you make property work for him. Okay, I know someone who loves shares, and I know that they bought a portfolio of blue chip shares 20 years ago, and they have just performed magically, right? They go up and down, but over time the value of those shares has run. Again, am I telling you to go into shares and become a forex trader? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is you've got to do a lot of think about what suits me best. But I know people who succeed in shares because they make it a science. They study it carefully. It's not a gamble. Understand, it's not gambling, right? But the one I love the most is businesses. I know how to make money in a business. I know how to take seed money of $500 and turn that into $32,000. I know how to take seed money of £1,000 and turn that into a £100,000 business, a 6-figure business. I know how to do that, right? I definitely know how to do that, right? It might take a bit of time, but I know how to do that. I know how to take an idea and build it. Businesses I love because you can put so little in and see the returns just magically multiply. I know that millennials are very entrepreneurial about businesses, right? Because I ran a money managing workshop and just about everyone in the course wanted to know how to build a business, right? What I discovered was that while they might have a good idea for the business, quite often they don't have a good business for the idea, which is why in the UK we have an 80% failure rate. So they start up with a great idea, but they don't have a really good business model at the back of it, which is why I wrote a book called Starting. Okay, it might come out backwards, but I wrote a book called Starting. It's on Amazon. And what that book does is it stress tests the assumptions that underpin the ideas in your book, in your business, right? You don't need to start a full-blown business, right? If you're a young professional, it might be a side hustle, if you're allowed to do it, right? It might be a hobby business. But the hobby business is to test your concept and to see whether it's got attraction, whether there's uptake in it, right? I know somebody who started a business, and the business was to take curly hair and come up with products that would straighten that hair. And it was targeted at girls 18 to 25 in America. And that business went from an idea to doing £26,000 a week out of a back bedroom. Okay, that's how well it was. I know that people have a side business of buying and selling stuff, right? I love using eBay. I'm a trader at heart. I love to trade stuff on. And do you know what? I found an old first edition of an Enid Blyton Noddy book, which I bought on eBay for £4 and I sold it for 80. And again, I know what I'm doing on eBay. It's not like it's hit and miss or gambling. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube about how to make eBay work. I've read all the eBay guides. If you're thinking of making money online, watch lots and lots and lots of videos on how to make money online before you spend a penny. Okay, make sure that you're doing a lot of desk searching to start with. Okay. I had a 17-year-old who attended one of the workshops, and he started Xbox and PlayStation games, which he could buy cheaply on eBay and then resell them, right? So he was reselling them for £15 to £20. So he was buying them for £2 each and reselling them. Then he started to find games that people really did want, so he was buying them super cheap and then upselling them for £35, whatever it was, okay? But the point was that he knew what he was doing. He knew what games people wanted. He didn't go hit and miss with it. Okay, so clearly, Making Money Make More Money is a book in itself. But I know in my case, a little investment of £500 turned into a £32,000 result. Okay, which I paid tax on, by the way. I declared and paid tax on it. So don't think I just pocketed that cash somehow. It was declared through the normal taxation thing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later. I knew a woman that was a touch typist, and she created a little business, and she got into trouble because it was a cash business, and she didn't declare that she was earning that as cash. So she got caught out. So make sure you keep impeccable records and that you're paying your tax on this. I'm not encouraging you to do anything to join the cash economy where you don't declare your earnings, okay? Here's the key point, though, out of all of this. You need to educate yourself, okay? I'm reading from here. It's not hit and miss. It's not a gamble. Educate yourself. Think about, what do I love doing? Start it as a side hustle. Really think it through. Have a look at my book on planning, which takes you through an 8-step workshop on how to actually stress test the idea that you've got. Right? It's a really good way to do it. You may need to learn new skills and habits. Managing your money is a skill that you might want to need to look at. You might need to look at bookkeeping, for example. I know you don't need this book to tell you the obvious, but it is obvious. Manage the obvious, right? Most people I know need to sort out their finances. And, they intend to get cracking, but then they don't, right? Because they run into two big obstacles. And I'm going to talk about those two obstacles on the next session, on the next episode. Maybe I should do that next episode. So look, if you like what you're hearing and you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell button so you get a notification when these are turning up. Also, if you're in the Multiply Your Money Facebook group, invite people in. Okay, introduce people in. It's growing really fast. There's a lot of really amazing goodies inside the LinkedIn and the Facebook group called Multiply Your Money. If you prefer to listen to information and do it on podcasts, well, search for Multiply Your Money on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, and you'll find me in that way there. Okay. If you like what you're hearing, send me some thumbs up or some hearts or flowers. Right. But I am reading from The Money Chimp, and I'm talking it through. So I'm going to go a little bit more into how making money makes more money on some of the next videos. Incidentally, if you're getting value from this, these are free here, but if you're getting a value from this, there's a link which you can click on if you want. I just encourage you to donate something to Clear Sky Children's Charity. This is a charity very close to my heart. They survive on donations. If you're getting value, donate a pound, donate 2 or 5. I don't care what it is. But one of my things in this book is about giving back. Okay, so if you're getting value, donate to something like Clear Sky Children's Charity, which delivers play therapy to children 4 to 12 who've witnessed or directly experienced a severe trauma. Okay, so it's a wonderful charity, UK wide, does amazing stuff. But make sure you donate to that as well. Okay, and I'll see you next video. See ya.